Are live, and today we are coming with my guest right here, Robin Amos, just for you. Okay, now give y'all some time to get your coffee together. Can we put the thumbnail back up while I do this part right here? Okay, all right. So we have Robin Amos coming here live. Whether you're looking to buy or sell property or you're a seasoned investor, I'm here to guide you through that process. Is what Robin says. She's a native ATL. ATL is in the house, and she believes in working with her clients with the highest level of integrity and commitment in every real estate transaction that she goes through. Today, we are going to be focusing on how to eliminate the wild card, how to eliminate the financing wild card with the bank, how to eliminate that seller wild card, because that is Robin's sweet spot. And we are here and ready to go with y'all today. But we got some housekeeping rules. This is called Business Convos and Coffee. I want you to grab your coffee, okay? This is called Business Convos and Coffee. Again, I want you to grab your coffee. Now, I have my coffee right here from my brand that I have with my husband, Great Beyond 28. And we'll be talking about that later. I was honored this week, guys. I'm going to be an honoree on Saturday. I just found out this week for the first Black Family magazine. We'll talk about that later, but grab your coffee. Make sure that you hit subscribe so you know when I go live for next week. Make sure you subscribe to YouTube because this live is going live on YouTube. Hey, we're going live on, can we put that subscribe button there? We go live on LinkedIn. We go live on Facebook. We go live on our Tax Plus 365 page. And it is time to go live now. And I have my guest, Robin, who will be with me right after this break. Oh,
here's a real estate tip. 3 things you want to do when you're buying a home. 1, do not make large cash deposits in your bank account. That's a no-no. 2, make sure that your money is seasoned in your bank account for 60 plus days. That means that money has been sitting in that account for more than 60 days. And number 3, make sure you have a separate account for your down payment and closing costs. Do not put those funds in the same account that you use for everyday expenses. Follow for more real estate tips.
All right, Robin. I love it. Robin, where you at? Let me get Robin over here. She here in studio, y'all. It's just we just kind of like figuring out our look for today. But are y'all as excited as I am? So I have this entrepreneur series going on right now, and this is in my sweet spot. And so I am going to be inviting real estate agents like Robin. Hey, Robin, and brokers, real estate people, people helping not just people. Help people who specialize in helping entrepreneurs get finance. And this series is Get Your Dream Home. Now, I have had my own stories about it, and Robin has her stories. We got stories, but not only do we have these stories to tell, we want to help you guys get into the home of your dreams and eliminate. Let me say that again. Eliminate the wild card, that's the seller, because you don't know if the seller gonna say yes, right? Because we have so many bids. And then eliminate the wild card for the finance, because you could have put all your paperwork in and did that pre-qualification, and it gets time to close, and they tripping. So let's talk about that today, Robin. Hey, Robin, tell me a little bit more about yourself.
What's up, everybody? My name is Robin Alicia. I am a realtor, real estate advisor, and investor here in the Metro Atlanta area. I'm with EXP, and I also have my own company, which is Revest, brokered by EXP. And I just love to help people buy, sell, and invest in real estate. It is truly my passion. It's something I've been around for about 13 years, even amongst doing other things. I simply eat, sleep, and drink real estate all day, every day. my life
Girl.
is consumed with real estate.
But that hasn't always been your life. So let's start off with your real story, okay? You got your
Ah,
coffee because we need coffee for this. We ain't got no tea. We do
I do.
coffee up in here.
I
Okay.
have
Oh,
my
I love the
coffee.
cup with the orange in it. So
Yes,
listen, so
yes.
Robin actually, and I wish I had pulled this picture, but Robin did my pregnancy photo shoot on the golf course. With your, if you're my Facebook friend, I'm holding the golf ball. Robin is also a photographer, which is why her camera is dope right now. Okay, so Robin she's a photographer. She's all, and I met her at my fitness boot camp because they're my fitness family, although I ain't been in forever. But I met her there. Robin was like integral role of that business, and then she started Robin Alicia, which is was it photography at the time? Tell that
Yes.
story. Give that
Okay,
journey.
so I'll go all the way back. I'll go all the way back. So my real estate actually started in 2008. I got my
Mm,
license in 2008. I had my license through the crash. I was very young then, didn't have the business acumen that I have now. So real estate didn't really work out that well for me. I did okay. I had some deals. I was doing something, but just didn't work out well for me. So at that time, I was working full time, actually at AT&T. Left AT&T, and where you met me when I was managing the gym. I was managing Tyler's Fitness at the time, and as a result of being at Tyler's Fitness, I discovered I had a great passion of photography, really,
mhm.
and that led to me starting my own photography company. So started
What
Robin
year
Elise.
was that?
I actually started the business in 2012. I started a photography business in 2012.
Okay. And then
Yeah,
next.
yeah. So fast forward, all those years, I did great as a photographer. I took, so many great pictures. I just love content. I love taking pictures. Yes, Spiceda. I have photographed Spiceda several times. Spiceda has been my accountant since I had my business. She's been my CPA since I had my business. So, and thank God for her because she has always made sure that my taxes were good. I'm not an entrepreneur that doesn't pay my taxes. I pay my taxes every year thanks to Spiceda.
Oh,
But
yay!
yeah.
That's
So
a
fast forward.
testimonial. That's the testimony. Lord, it's that picture with like me and Joey on the golf course holding it. And since I just had baby Joey, it came up in my memory. If I could find it in a second, I'm going to find it, download it, and upload it so people can see this picture. And also, if you are on my Gmail headshot, where I'm like this in the black, that's you. Oh, actually, this is you, Robin. Wait a minute. This, let me tell
I love you,
you,
Spiceda.
Robin took
That
this
is
picture.
me. That is me. That is my
Yeah,
work.
this is
Yes.
Robin. Robin took. Laura didn't even know that. Laura thought that Nick took all my pictures, but I have been a picture
Oh.
whore for a long time.
You invest in great photography for your business, which is important.
Well,
That's a whole
it
nother
is
podcast,
important.
but it's important. Yes. But
You
yeah,
gotta
so
stay
fast
busy.
fast forward to 2020, I decided that I wanted to jump back into real estate full time. COVID hit, so it delayed some of those plans. But December 2020, I got my license reinstated, and I actually closed my first deal in real estate January of 2021.
Wow.
Fast
In
forward
the pandemic.
in a pandemic, yes, yes, during the pandemic, yes. So fast forward
Wow.
to May of 2021, I actually left the gym, decided to jump head first, all dive in, and do real estate 100% full time. And that's been a blessing for me. I actually just posted a video yesterday because yesterday was the anniversary. I had only closed my second deal to date last year, July 21st. So still
Oh.
chucking away. But since that happened in July 21st last year, I've hit the ground running. And it's a blessing that I get to wake up and do what I want to do every day, what I love to do every day, and serve people. And it provides me an opportunity to take care of my baby and do the things I would like to do and provide the resources for
Yes.
that.
Yes, I love it. So Robin is a mompreneur too, like me. But look, Robin, you
Yes.
done said a lot, and your story is a journey. And so
Uh-huh.
I really should have kept my title from last week. That really is like, and my original title. I changed it a little bit, but it truly
Mhm.
is. I mean, you started a business in actually 2008 when you got your license. We were in a whatever they called it recession.
It was
I
the Great
actually started my
Recession.
business in
Yes.
2009. So
Yes.
that was like not, I mean, I think that recessions and your depressions and pandemics are great for starting
Mhm.
businesses. So I don't
Mhm.
think that people should believe the hype, like the panic, right? Don't
Yes.
fall into the panic because as entrepreneurs, you know, you could be winning while everyone's
Absolutely.
panicking. That's why a lot of these great brands and these big brands that we know and love, like Netflix and Amazon, they were
Mhm.
started in tough times.
Yep.
So
Absolutely.
if being started in tough times mean you're headed for greatness, you and I are headed there. Okay.
Absolutely.
Now,
I'll take that all day.
what'd you say? Say that one.
I
You
said
said you'll take that
I
one
will
for a
take
second.
that all day.
Okay. So wait a
Absolutely.
minute. You closed your first deal in 2020 during the
Mhm.
recession.
2021. Yep. January 2021. Yep.
You
When I
closed your
came back
first,
to
but
real estate. Mhm.
you reinstated your license in 2020 during the
Yes.
pandemic.
Absolutely.
And what made you do that?
Um, I I really needed a change. Just to be honest, I needed to. I loved real estate. So during my photography career, I was shooting real estate. I was shooting agents' listings. Actually, so real
You
estate just
sure
always been a part of
were.
my life.
You townhouse.
Uh huh. What did you say?
I see the picture. I'm an Airbnb owner, as you guys don't know, but my Airbnb pictures, you did those.
Yeah, I did those. Yes, yes, yes. So Spiceda has always supported me, and I appreciate that. Yes, but so that just made me. It was just time. It was time. I was getting a little bit older. I needed to make more money. There were some things that I needed to do in the future, and I needed to have resources to do that. And I knew beyond a shadow of a doubt that real estate was the path that would allow me to do that.
All right, so let's talk about closing deals, right?
Okay.
You closing deals in this pandemic. I don't think we post pandemic heading into the recession. You closing deals. So this whole message right now is about home buyers, particularly entrepreneurs like me and you. How can we win in this market when the inventory is tight? And I
Hmm.
mean, even I bought a house in 2018. And even then, because in the area we live in, it's really hard to get a hold of properties. We would put up, we would like, let's say the house got listed,
Hmm.
right? That same day, we saw it get listed, call within an hour, the realtor telling us that he already got 5 offers and we the fourth backup offer. This was happening in 2018 over here. We were
Yes.
the fifth backup offer, and they were like, "We'll keep you on the list." We are like,
Yeah.
"Whatever." Then we go and put a bid. We literally put a bid on 5 houses. Okay.
Yes.
And one of the houses we almost was going to get, I didn't love that house, right?
Hmm.
But because of the market we were in, I was going to do it. The seller started tripping
Mm.
and talking about he taking it off the market because he could get more money. He thought he could get more money and really done a full. This was going to 2018. So I hear these stories happening now, even to the point where you got new construction talking about people under contract taking off the contract because they get more money because housing prices are rising. Housing, yeah, it's rising like
Mhm.
literally because you know because the demand is high, the inventory is low, right?
Yes.
So I just before you chime in, let me just say this one more thing. On my
Okay.
house, right? It
Hmm.
it was on the market for like a year and a half.
Uh-huh.
Okay. had not moved about a year, and I think it was priced too high for them for the market at the time because they just got to, yeah. So I know and every time the guy who sold it to me, I love them. They came and visit, but he kind of like, damn, I should have just held out a little bit longer because while we were under contract, a house
Uh-huh.
went up around the corner for three
Mm,
times what we
mm.
had our
What
house
you want
under
to contract for?
contract for,
Uh-huh.
and that house was the same square footage, similar as ours. And
Okay.
the bank
Before
started
I answer
tripping.
that, go ahead. Before I answer that, I'm sorry. I know we live, but I got to plug my computer up. Sorry. So go ahead. Do
On
your
your
thing.
computer, don't leave. I'm gonna stay with this story. Look, so the same with the same, right? The in the same vein, I'm just let y'all know. In the same vein, the seller, like, basically, we got the we finally got the house, right? We're under contract. The reason why we were under contract so long was because our lender started tripping. Y'all remember when I told you guys that the lender disapproved our loan? And I didn't believe it. Well, I simply didn't believe it because, of course, I had, I'm an accountant, CPA. I have a lot of underwriter clients, and I had already pre-written my loan because I've helped so many entrepreneurs, right? So I was ready. I knew we could afford the home, et cetera, et cetera. And the bank disapproved the loan. Well, one of the reasons why they disapproved the loan was because the underwriter got in her feelings because she wasn't used to business owners who actually pay themselves, right? And I've been paying myself for years the same salary. She took the salary off, which is illegal, right? My husband is he's a stay true. He doggone they took like 5 figures of his income off. So if you take 5 figures of income off of anybody's application, they're gonna get denied. In our case, I knew that it wasn't right. And so, because I knew it wasn't right, I was able to push back. And that's why I'm telling you guys to get the guide. I have written this guide on how entrepreneurs can get their home loan approved. It's over at the website. It's going to be under this blog post, and get the download. Get the download. Okay, I'll show you guys what the cover page of that download looks like, but get the download because with that, you will get what you need. You'll at least be, 1 foot in on getting approved. So what happened in my case was they disapproved us for real, and then they had to pull the loan back, and I had to start the loan all over again. Okay, start the loan all over again. And Robin's gonna give us her perspective on that. Now, we in a situation. I'm buying a house. I done told y'all what happened, right? My house, I'm under contract for the house. And needless to say, I wrote a letter to get the house. And because we were competing with somebody else. Fortunately, I wasn't competing with 5 people for this house. I was only competing with one other person. And because people didn't want to pay that much at that time for a house, right? And so I wrote my letter, and the seller right now, the guy, the previous owner of our house, he said that their offer was more than mine, but because of my letter, he went with my offer, right? And so how does that work, Robin?
So I'll say right now the market has shifted some. So right now the market is cooling off. So I give this analogy to people all the time, especially during this time. The market for the last 2 years is like you in a car and you're going down the highway and you're doing 150. Like you are mashing out, like you are going super fast. That's been the real estate market for the last 2 years. Right now, due to inflation and other economic things, the market is cooling off. It's not
Mm-hmm,
crashing, it's not in an accident, but it's cooling off. So it's pulling back from that 150
mm-hmm,
down to not quite the speed limit, but we probably doing 100 right now. So what's happening or what you're seeing happen is homes are staying on the market a little bit longer. You're not seeing as many multiple offers as you were seeing before. So those kind of dynamics have kind of calmed down a little bit. So what you experience and what people have been experiencing for the last 2 years buying a home, that's cooling off, not crashing. And I say
Mhm.
that because one of the key data points that we look at to determine or economics look at to determine a real estate crash is how much inventory is available. So if you compare, so back in 2008 when the market crashed, one of the key things was the prices were rising, but the inventory was still there. So there was no, it was
Mhm.
defying the laws of supply and demand. Now what's happening is it's the opposite of that. Prices are rising because demand is still high and inventory is still low. So
Sorry.
that's that's what's happening. So the market is cooling off some. So people can kind of take a breath as far as that's concerned. Um, it's not it's not going to continue. It was no way. Like houses have been appreciating anywhere between 18
Mhm.
and 25% year over year. The market can't
Okay.
keep that up, so it has to pull back. So that's what we're experiencing now, a pullback.
So
Now,
you're
I will
saying,
say
okay,
there are some areas that are still very competitive where you're gonna still have those multiple offer situations. The
mhm,
letters worked pretty well when there was a lot because you had to have something to differentiate yourself. But now,
mhm.
as you know, the National Association of Realtors have actually kind of put things out for us to kind of pull back on buyers sending those love letters and things like that because they don't want to get into
Why?
lawsuits and things like that. You said why?
Mhm.
Um, because so when you're a realtor, you have like our code of ethics is that you can't really a seller shouldn't choose you based on race, familiar status, things like that. So people are putting their letters like, "Hey, I'm a single mom," or "Hey, I'm a family with kids," and technically, it's against the law for someone to choose you based upon that one distinct thing. So
Really?
those letters were kind of yes, those letters were treading a fine line, and somebody can actually a seller putting themselves at risk to be sued for discrimination. So
So wait a minute. Can I say this?
mhm.
Because, that was a way for the realtor to really get the seller to know who they're selling their house to. So you work with a lot of sellers, right? I
Mhm.
don't want to sell my if I sold my house right now, I don't want to sell my house to somebody who lives in Dubai. I don't want to sell my house to someone who doesn't live there. So how
Yeah,
do
so
we get
that's
to those
different.
sellers?
So as a listing agent, I know if this offer is coming from a family or if it's coming from an investor. So that's easy for me to tell my client. Without somebody, I can provide that information to my client without someone writing a letter. I know when an offer comes across my email, I know if it's an investor. Generally, investors are paying with cash. If it comes in the name of a corporate name versus somebody else's home, then I know that this is more of an investor than a family trying to purchase this home.
Okay, so you're saying like based on so when I sold my house, right? I sold my house in
Mhm.
Ellenwood. And so
Uh-huh.
the young lady was she came in as a cash offer, but she technically couldn't afford she in order to compete. So like right now this is my understanding. In order for
Mhm.
people to compete, they're getting with these companies where they can present the offer as a cash offer,
Mhm.
but is actually a family, and so they get a chance to refinance it later. And that's my understanding
So yeah,
of
so that's what we
the person
call
who
a
bought
lease.
our house that we
Right. So that's what we call a lease to own program. There are several of them. So they put people who may need us a little bit more time or they need to save up more money or work on their credit. There are some programs out there
okay.
that allow them to still purchase a home and they rent from that company. Those programs are good and they serve you well. I have had clients who use those. However, I stress to my clients that this is still a corporation buying this house for you. So if you don't hold up your end of the bargain, then at the end of the day, it's going to be another corporate owned home in this neighborhood. So you have, people still have to do the things they need to do to still try to buy the home. But the lease to own programs, they have their way in this market that they're very beneficial for a lot of buyers if the buyers are able to follow through on the
Okay.
process of buying the home.
Okay, so what I got from you saying is even if you're like that program that I just described was called a lease to own program, right?
Hmm.
So even in those types of programs, you got to have your paperwork together, right? You got
Absolutely.
to eliminate, you still got to eliminate the finance wild card because you still got to qualify at some point. Those
Yes.
programs should give you more time.
Absolutely. Yes. And
Okay,
you can be in your home, but working on getting approved for a mortgage. Yes.
that's interesting. I'm going to write that down as an option, right?
Mhm.
So, what else do you see? Like, what? Let me tell you part of my story because we've sold a home. I guess I'm almost a real estate experiencer. I made that up, but because I refuse to sell my home at this point because we got a FHA loan. Well, we had when we first put the house on the market, we got on the first day we got 8 offers. And
Hmm.
then we had 40 people come to the grand opening, right?
Hmm.
And we got 8 offers. We of course went with the highest offer. But what had
Hmm.
happened was the bank, was like, nah, the house, we're not going to finance that house for 180. We're going to only finance it for 150. And
Right.
so with that, I ended up because I think the buyer thought that I was going to be like, yeah, I'll still sell it to you and I'll eat that cost. I was like, I worked my numbers and I knew what my walkaway number was.
Hmm.
And my walkaway number was 150. So I can't do that deal. I was like, no. I told my realtor, figure it out. I don't care what you got to do. But basically, what had happened was that locked that house or prevented that house from being able to go out to a FHA lender because that appraisal was attached to it,
Right. So
right?
that does happen. So in this market, it's still a seller's market, but so back then sellers had more choices, right? Even a year, even 6 months ago, sellers could say no, and it'll be fine. Now, not so much unless you have just like a really great property in a really great area that's still in high demand. But yes, anytime there's a FHA appraisal on a home, the FHA appraisal is going to stick for 90 days. So if a buyer comes behind that buyer and they're FHA buyer too, and they say, "Hey, I want to buy this house," they can buy the house, but the FHA value is going to stick. They can't. Their new appraisal is not going to override
Right.
the appraisal that was already done.
I
So that's
wasn't playing with the bank. I'm not playing with the bank. Okay, with my money. So
what
what
you were
I
doing.
did was they locked out the FHA. So basically, the bank prevented my house from being sold to FHA buyers. So basically, I only took conventional loans, or
Yeah,
this lease
a
to
cash
own
buyer.
program, or
Yeah.
a cash buyer. But I didn't know about the lease to own program at that time. So
Mhm.
this is what I want to. This is what I want entrepreneurs to know, right? There are different types of home loans out there. Okay.
Yeah.
And somebody needs to help me in the chat because I don't have this written. And because this is important, of home loans out there. And depending on the cost of the home that you're trying to buy, it's best to have these certain products with the bank because sellers, let me tell you, if because our loan was a conventional loan,
Uh-huh.
okay, if I had been dealing, because sometimes conventional loans, and this is my understanding, Robin, and you can tell me if you know this to be true. Sometimes
Uh-huh.
conventional loans sell quicker. The homes, like the process moves quicker. Is that true or is that a lie?
Um, it really depends on your mortgage company. I mean, I've had FHA loans close in 21 days, so no, that's not necessarily true. But it your loan is going to close fast based upon who's processing your loan. If you're doing what you need to do, have all your paperwork together. The buyer has to respond to the underwriters ASAP when they're requesting information. So there's a lot of moving pieces to get a loan to close fast. Obviously, the loans are going to close the fastest are cash deals because they don't require so many different things. But
Mm-hmm.
the a loan closing faster is not necessarily based on it being conventional or FHA. Only thing that could possibly slow the process down in difference maybe the time waiting on an appraisal to happen and come back. So sometimes you can get a conventional, the
Oh,
appraisal can come back faster on a conventional loan. But that's so subjective. Like it really depends. And I have great lending partners, but it really depends on who your mortgage brokers are, who their processors
expert,
are, who
expert.
and who their underwriters are. That's
Get
what's
an
going to
expert.
determine
I mean,
how
you can't do nothing
fast.
about the underwriter, but
Yeah, that determines
and I
how
need you to
fast.
add who your accountant is.
Oh yeah, because your paperwork. So if you're an entrepreneur, I absolutely will say this. I've had entrepreneur clients, and they take them through the ringers, and the reason why is because just when you're dealing with an entrepreneur or business, unfortunately, you're tagged as your loan being more riskier. So the underwriters do crazily go through all your paperwork with a fine tooth comb. So that's the importance of having a great CPA like you and having bookkeeping because your company does bookkeeping as well, so that you
Mm-hmm.
have because they don't just want your taxes. When you're an entrepreneur, you got to turn in your profit and loss statements. You got to turn in bank statements. You got to turn in tax
Mm-hmm.
returns. So you got to turn in all that paperwork. It has to be done. It has to be readily available. You cannot get your paperwork together in the process of buying a house. When you are buying a house, you need to already have all your paperwork together
Look,
because most of my professionals that I work with, we check all those things up front. Like I'm not even gonna get a pre-approval from you to go out for you to go out and start looking for something um, before they collect all that paperwork first, and they
mm-hmm.
run you through either desktop underwriting, and some of them I have they actually send it to the underwriter to have everything checked off before we even start shopping. Because in this
Right.
market, what I don't want to do is have you under contract and I can't perform on you buying this house because of financing.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. That's exactly it, Robin. Look, you are preaching here. I ain't paying her to say that, y'all. I just want y'all to know that because this is the right thing, right? So before we move on, because I want to dive into what you just said. Getting your paperwork right, right? But I promise y'all I would give y'all the four types of home loans. And those are you can do the conventional loan, number one. You could do an FHA loan. You could do the lease to own program that we dove into, or you could buy your home cash. Now, as an entrepreneur, I believe that you can buy your home cash. We won't get into that right now because as entrepreneurs, we don't get solid paychecks. Our paychecks are built on the hustle of us or the hustle of our company, which is us and our team. So I don't want to get into that right now, but entrepreneurs, you can build your business to buy your home cash. But that's not what we're talking about today. We're talking about if you can't buy your house cash and you don't have the cash to pull out your business, or you don't, you just don't have the cash yourself. Um, what are your options and and getting which is getting financing. And Robin, you were like, look, you got to have your paperwork right. I put it here in the comments somewhere. I'm sure Laura has it. She'll pull it up for us, but I dropped it in the comments for y'all where Robin was like, as an entrepreneur, you need your taxes right, your P&L and your paperwork pull together, because it's not just about that. But you said something that I want to kind of you to expound on. You mentioned the term desktop underwriting.
Yeah,
What?
so most mortgage professionals, it's an automated system where they're able to upload all your paperwork, and they can before an actual person looks at it, the software can determine if something is not going to be right to be able to close that loan. So
Mm-hmm.
that's kind of the beginning of the process. A lot of mortgage, and you probably have to have I'm not a mortgage professional, so you probably have to have a mortgage professional on to kind of go into
Oh no, I
detail
got a
about that.
mortgage professional coming. Listen, let me
Yeah.
pause. Listen, I got everybody you need as an entrepreneur because you can win. Because I want you guys building wealth, and wealth creates recurring income, and it creates the pathway for us to live the life that we want to live and do what we want to do. Let me say that we want to do with our time. Because most people go into entrepreneurship, which I know because you're a mom now, Robin, right? You went
Yes.
into entrepreneurship. Answer this question, yes or no, so that you can spend more time with your baby.
Yeah, I mean, yeah. Well, actually, I had yes and no. For me, I've always been an entrepreneur. If you ask my mom, I probably had business ideas or business I started since I was probably a teenager. So it's always been in me. So I've had like a entertainment company. I've done several things. So I actually had my photography company before I had my baby. But yes, me getting back into real estate and on the path that I am now, she absolutely was the reason for me doing it.
Yes. Okay. So we've talked about that. I need you before we go, because we're a little bit past our time. But this is so good, Robin. You know you're one of my favorite people. Robin, she mentioned that I always support her. I totally forgot how that we support each other because I was like, I forgot I did that too. Robin did this. Robin did that. We've just been friends for a long time. Robin knew me when I was skinnier. I was going to say skinny, but I'm gonna say skinnier. Okay. Before I got married, before I had kids and all that great stuff, I knew Robin as the manager of Tata's Fitness, right?
Right.
I did this live particularly, Robin, because I believe that entrepreneurs need help. I know entrepreneurs need help in buying homes and buying real estate because it may not just be them buying homes. It might be, hey, you might want to buy real estate to get passive income. You might want to buy a business. But what I specialize in is getting rid of that finance wild card. What I recognize you as an expert in, because I only talk to experts. I ain't got time for these people playing on the internet talking about they do this and they do that and they ain't practice nobody. I've been practicing this now for 30 years. Okay. I know what I've seen is no longer a practice, it's an experience and it's expertise. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
With you, it's the same thing. So, what you can help them eliminate the seller wild card. That's your sweet spot. You houses. You also help people sell houses, right?
Mm-hmm.
But
Absolutely.
I need you to give us some secrets because these sellers, I know you say that the market is cooling off. But even in
Mm-hmm.
a cool off market, because I bought my house in a cool off market, you're saying we can't do the letters anymore. Tell us, how can we win over the seller? And I will end with how you can win over the bank
Okay.
in financing.
Um, to you need to make your best offers. One, you absolutely need to work with a real estate professional, and someone who knows what they're doing. If you are an entrepreneur buying a home, like we all talk about, having your paperwork together, having your the biggest thing, the biggest tip I can give for entrepreneurs buying a house, is to separate your funds, have an account that's particularly for holding your funds that you want to buy a house in and having your paperwork together. Those are the biggest things. Sellers are looking for qualified buyers, whether you're
And give your
qualified for
best offer.
yes, give your best offer. They're looking for qualified buyers. So your agent is communicating with a listing agent, and when I have a listing and we're trying to make a decision on whose offer we're going to select, I vet the buyers. I call the loan officer that's representing this particular buyer and
Really?
ask them, do they have enough cash to close? Is all their paperwork in? Have they been through underwriting already? Those are the type of questions that I ask as a listing agent to make sure that whoever we select this offer on is not, the price is important. Don't get me wrong. The highest price is important, but it's not the most important thing always, because you can take a high price offer, but the person may not have all their stuff together, which means they're not going to be able to perform
Mhm.
on whatever they offer. So as
Which
an
means the
entrepreneur,
seller can't close fast.
right?
Sometimes these sellers also got homes that they trying to buy.
Yes, absolutely. So we just have to look at all those. So a seller, as a listing agent, I'm looking at a buyer that is going to be able to perform on whatever it is that they're offering, and what's going to work best for my client.
Gotcha.
Period. That's what we're looking for. And just as an entrepreneur to entrepreneur, you need to work with mortgage. I would say the biggest other step for entrepreneurs is that a traditional bank may not always be your best bet. Talk to a
Oh,
mortgage broker.
yes. Look, that is it. A traditional bank may not always be your best bet. I say that all the time, Robin. Thank you for reminding me. Go ahead, go on with that. I'm sorry, I didn't mean to interrupt. You know,
Yeah,
we need to put that up, Laura. I'm trying to cut this interview off, but it is too good. The information is too good. This stuff, entrepreneurs, y'all not winning these houses for two reasons. Okay, I mean, we pulling these reasons out. I'm gonna probably put another sheet together. I'll probably expand my home buyer guide for entrepreneurs to include some of this stuff right here. But okay, all right. What was you saying? Go ahead.
Yeah, you funny. Yeah, but just a traditional bank might not be, because I work with a mortgage broker. So say for instance you are a fairly new business, but your business is doing well. Say you've only had your business for 6 months, but it's performing, it's doing well. You got your cash, your money set aside, your credit is good. But the thing is, you don't have 2-year tax returns on this because you haven't been in business that long. I have mortgage brokers that work with clients like that. I have a mortgage broker who can has a 2-month bank statement loan. Yes, your interest rate is going to be a little
I
bit
ain't never heard
higher.
of no 2-month bank statement loan.
Hey,
I'm bringing my mortgage person here in this coming weeks. I might need to move her interview up to next Friday because she's not a
but
traditional mortgage broker and she is winning loans for entrepreneurs. So I'm so happy that you said that because sometimes a traditional bank may not be for you, entrepreneur, but in any situation, you need to be working with an expert. You need to be having your paperwork together. You need to be having a realtor that know what they're doing. You need to be working with a bank that loves entrepreneurs. I usually tell entrepreneurs, what is it? Doesn't it feel good when you're loving somebody and somebody loves you back? And that's a fact. That's what y'all need to be thinking about when y'all working with these banks, because it don't feel good when you working with a bank that don't love you back. As entrepreneurs, you need to be working with banks that love entrepreneurs and not only love them, but understands what it's like to work with an entrepreneur that understands that your tax return may say you lost money, but you actually made money. You need to make sure that your underwriter knows how to read tax returns, because just because your tax return says you lost, the bank actually, under the lending requirements, should still say that you qualify and that you've made money. But if you don't know that and you don't know how to do that, then that's going to be a problem. That's why y'all got to get my home buying guide and join my next challenge, because that is what we're talking about. And that is what we're doing here. We ain't playing with y'all. We want y'all to get the loan, entrepreneur. I'm talking to you. Get your dream home. And you're not going to get it sometimes by working with these large traditional banks. Sometimes large traditional banks don't work for entrepreneurs. You know why? Because it's the same reason as the housing market. They got more choices. If I can work with a 10, like just think about it. And I got to give y'all this example. When you got an ugly man, right? When he broke, his choices are low. But when he gets some money, let him hit the lottery, make $1 million. Let him have a hit record. Let him be an athlete. So, because some of these people ain't cute, but they got 10 women. Like their woman is a 10. She real cute. Now, if you can get a 10, are you going to be bothered with a 3 or a 4 or a 5 or a 6? Because you got more choices. Okay, these large banks have more choices. They could work with people with a 10 credit score, a high, 800 credit score. Why would they're not going to fool with people with a 500 or 600. They don't even fool with people with a 600 credit score. And 600 is decent. Whereby a mortgage company or a smaller bank will play with you, because they understand that you as an entrepreneur may have a situation where you got a lot of credit going on because you're working on something. and you don't want to use your money. You know that using other people's money, you can multiply it, pay these people back their money, and keep it moving, right? That may affect your credit score as an entrepreneur. Okay. But what I'm saying to you guys, and what Robin just made me get on the soapbox about, is these large banks, and I'm not going to call their name. Y'all know who they are. Okay. They are like that ugly man who hit the lottery. He can have any woman he wants. He don't want you. The bank can have any, these large banks can have any what do you call it, borrower that they want. They don't want you with your 615. They don't talk, they only talk to people at 700. Okay. So I'm just saying, as entrepreneurs, that's not always us. Okay. So Robin, thank you. You made a great point here when you say that entrepreneurs, sometimes traditional financing may not work for you. Right?
But that don't mean you can't buy a house. So if you need to buy a house and you don't have, get your paper, go to Spiceda first, get your paperwork together at Tax Plus 365. And then I got you. We'll make sure we find you the house that you want, that you deserve, and all the money that your money can buy.
I'm laughing because they go over here talking about laughing out loud. I just tell the truth. Like, I tell y'all like it is. Look, get your paperwork together like Robin. Robin, thank you for letting them know. But sometimes when you be like, get your paperwork together, make sure you work with an expert. Don't get the tax people to do your taxes. You really need an accountant to do your taxes. And make sure that, like, you don't let your cousin who just got a real estate license help you find your house and negotiate your loan because that's your cousin and they might give you some undercut. Listen, y'all need to stop with this. Experts have expertise, and people don't get it when we say it like that, Robin. Because I'm an accountant, I'm a CPA, I'm jamming, y'all. I got a nice resume, right? And sometimes when I'm talking bad to my staff, I be like, I don't have to do this. I could get a job and make good money, okay? But I do this, what I'm doing right now, because I love this and I love entrepreneurship and I love business. That's why this thing called Business Combos and Coffee, because I love business, I love to talk, and I love me some good old coffee, right? So we ain't playing with y'all. You want me to say that again, Laura? You look like you did. You zoomed in. You want me to do it again? Because, look. So look, okay, that means to do it again. Look, I do this because I love doing this, okay? All right? That's why this thing is Business Combos and Coffee, because I love business. I love to talk, obviously, and I love me some good old coffee. All right? So look, I am here to help y'all win. Y'all need to go get that download at our website, which you go to accountantthisway.com, 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 accountantthisway.com. Okay? And you will get the replay of this. So share this with your friends. If you're watching it on YouTube, share this with any entrepreneur that you know, because y'all entrepreneurs need to stop playing out here. Okay? So that y'all can get finance for your home loan. So Robin, we gonna end this because we getting them all kinds of nuggets and they need to be paying us for this. This is a whole goddamn webinar. And so Robin, I'm gonna have you come back. And so y'all know I'm getting geared up for my next Pocket More Profit boot camp. I'm about to delay it again because it's supposed to be next week, but I don't know. We got to get y'all in the room, because it's not enough hours in this room and in this conversation. So let me say that again. It's not enough entrepreneurs in this conversation, which is why you have entrepreneurs that struggle getting home loans. You got entrepreneurs that struggle getting their dream house. You got entrepreneurs that struggle in buying a car. How easy is it to buy a car? Okay. The reason why entrepreneurs are struggling in buying major assets like cars, I said it, I'm gonna say it again. You got entrepreneurs that are even struggling to buy a car, and it's because they don't know what paperwork that they need to give, because this world that we live in the finance world, is really geared towards the W-2 employee. It's not geared towards you. Okay. So when you're going in, it's like people who get financial aid. The W-2 people got financial aid. They got programs that help them buy their houses and all that. What I have, the Pocket More Profit Boot Camp, right? That's what I have for you guys as a program. And it's free. Go over to pocketmoreprofitbootcamp.com, register for that next boot camp. The boot camp is free. Let me say that again. The boot camp is free. I created a program to help entrepreneurs get the yes. I created this program to help entrepreneurs eliminate the wild card. I created this program to help you get fit. Okay? FIT. That's what I call it. That's why it's called boot camp. Because some of y'all business is out of shape. You too out of shape to get financed. Y'all are too out of shape. You got to get back in shape to get financed. You got to get your stuff right. Come to boot camp. Okay? First, start by going to accountant this way. You know you ain't got no real accountant. You know you're working with a bookkeeper. You know that you're working with your cousin who did your taxes. You know you're working even with your cousin or your sister that's a CPA. But this is not what they do. They work for some big old corporation. They don't know. Big corporations don't have problems like you. The big banks like to deal with them. They the 10. You the 5. So when a big bank decides that they want to give somebody finance, they ain't looking for you. So that's why you can't use your big company, your cousin who got the CPA license, who they work at Coca-Cola or somewhere like that. Coca-Cola don't get rejected when they ask for a loan, but you do. And I'm going to teach you how to be like them. At least get yourself in shape. Get fine for the bank. Okay, so you could get finance. Get fit for the bank. Okay, get fine. Nanced. Okay. All right. That's what we are here for, guys. We're here to help you. All right. So did I cover everything, Robin? You back on me. Because you know I don't care, Robin. I got to go to work. We got to go to work. We's about to be here for an hour. We got to go.
But yeah, I appreciate you having me on. They can follow me. My Instagram is where I probably post most of my content. It's Sold by Robin Alicia. That's ROBYNELICIA. Sold by Robin Alicia. They can follow me on Instagram. I post tips. I post information. And if you have any questions, like I love helping people, so they can DM me. I will do my best to help you. I do not know everything, but I guarantee you I know somebody that does. So I will find the answer for you.
Yep. You know me. Send them all over here. And tell them to register for my Pocket More Profit Bootcamp. So anyway, Robin, thank you.
No problem. Y'all better
having us. Let me see something. This is right. This is your company, right? We can find you at Revest.
Yeah. You can go to my website, Revest. But I post so much content on social media, so you can go to my website. That's where you can search for houses, do all those things. But if you actually go to my IG, all my links for everything is in my IG too. So search.
What's your IG?
Search Sold by Robin Alicia.
Sold by Robin Alicia, and that's Robin with a Y, not an I. And look, Robin, before you go, she was able to pull up some of these pictures. Look. That's me. We just ending this thing. That's me. Robin did this. That's me. What Baby Joy just turned 7. She did that magazine cover. She did this. She did this.
You pulled out all the stops. Look at you.
Look. We got you, girl. We got you. Look, this is you. Go to Robin. That's one of my favorite pictures. Go that way to Robin. Robin, we've been blessed to have you today. Robin Alicia, Sold by Robin Alicia. Sold by Robin Alicia is her social media. And so follow Robin, guys. Robin, it has been a blessing to have you. And I'm so grateful that you graced me with your presence today, my friend. Okay.
No
So
problem.
look, guys, this is what we have. This is combos. We coming back. This is a series. So if you like this information, you are going to love it and love it and love it and love it and love it even more. I'm going to keep going live like I always do, but we're staying in this series that's going to lead us into our next Pocket More Profit boot camp. You know, we may have special guests like Robin and like Kenya, who we had last week, and we have, you know, Fleeta Paul coming up soon. So make sure, and I even got Cedric coming from the Real Estate Commission. So look, I ain't playing with y'all. I am serious about this, and I want you to get your dream home. Or if you just looking to multiply your real estate. But at the end of the day, I want y'all to get financed. Okay. And the way you do that is get your business in shape, get your business fit. Okay. That's what we do at X Financial. Our website is xfinancialcpa.com. I have a whole series on this. So even if you get behind, you can just go to xfinancialcpa.com. That's right there. Okay. Go right there. And what we'll be able to, you can just binge watch. Okay, hit that subscribe button when you go, you know, on YouTube, so you know when I go live on YouTube, because sometimes I pre-record my guests and we go live on YouTube, and you'll already have the information first. So there's no excuse not to get financed. Entrepreneurs, this is for you. Y'all know I love you. My name is Spiceda Jackson. I am the real accountant, and I am the accountant that you love. All right. Don't forget to move your profit in the right direction. And that's up. Mwah. Love y'all.